Hello and welcome to my second video on the channel that is still affectionately titled Insert Name Here. After some comments from people and requests, I thought my next video, as it's new, would be a review of Marduk Sedras, the latest Horus Heresy character series model, and one that I'm a big fan of, primarily because of the words Dark Angels. I'm a massive fan of Dark Angels. They've been my army since 2nd edition 40k. They were my first Heresy army, and I came back to them a couple of years ago when they started getting more releases, so I'm really pleased to see a character model. I'm not quite sure really how to best approach a review, because a review in its sense is very subjective, I suppose, because people like different things in models. That's just a simple fact. But I got Marduk Sedras, well, more importantly, my friend James got me Marduk Sedras at the Heresy Open Day at Warhammer World. I didn't get a ticket to that, so wasn't able to, but it was on early release there, so he picked me up a copy and I had to build and paint it straight away. The other thing when thinking about review videos and talking about Heresy is I have no idea how much you know. I don't want to patronise people about the Heresy, but I also don't want to just talk a load of stuff, rubbish that people don't understand. So I'll just introduce you, I suppose. This is Marduk Sedras. He is one of the two named characters in the Black Book, Book 9, from the Dark Angels, the other one being Corswain, who's the model I'm most excited for. He is the ranks are hard to say, so this is the bit where I may patronise. Heresy models or Heresy legions function very differently to 40k chapters, and they don't have things as simple as captains or just as simple as a captain or a chapter master. In fact, chapter as a term is something completely different in the Heresy. In the Dark Angels, their legion was split into orders, which have an ill-defined number of Marines, but I'd like to think of an order being as something in the region of 1,000 Space Marines. As you can see here, Marduk Sedras is the Lord of the 23rd Order, and his other title is Eschaton of the Dreadwing. Another little fun fact for those that don't know, the Dark Angels, being the first legion, were organised in a different structure to other Space Marine legions. I'll just open up the instructions so you can see the kind of parts. And they split themselves up into 6 wings, or the Hecanista, I think is the way you pronounce it. And he is an Eschaton of the Dreadwing, which is one of those 6 wings. The Dreadwing is really cool because essentially they use all the tech that the other legions don't have access to, all the dirty, nasty, radiation-infused plasma, Dark Age of technology weapons that are really, really nasty but have to be used. And Marduk Sedras is a Terran-born Space Marine, a Terran-born Dark Angel, meaning that he is from Terra and not from Caliban. And he's one of the oldest serving legionaries in the Dark Angels. So, where to start this review? Start with the model. Well, I could look at the picture, but let's look at the actual model. This is my model that I've painted. I'm very proud of the paint job. It's not the best, it's not the worst. It is being filmed on my camera, so I will show you as best I can. I am illuminating him with my trusty desk lamp again. I'm just going to reposition that lamp, just try and get a bit more light on it. So, first impressions of the model. When I saw the picture on the Warhammer community article, I absolutely loved it. But I will sort of caveat there that I am quite biased if it's a Dark Angel model, and I've loved the art style that they've gone for with the Dark Angel models in Heresy. I know they're not everybody's cup of tea, but I'm a huge fan of them. So Marduk Sedras here is depicted in his special cataphract suit of armour. It's a named suit of armour. It doesn't look massively different to other cataphract suits of armour other than skulls, but he's got loads of cute, cool little details. I like the pose. Some people don't. I've seen comments where people have not liked the pose. I like that sort of, you might call it static. I actually think it's quite sort of imposing, stood there. And from this angle in particular, it looks great. I think from this angle, all Terminators suffer when they have a gun poking out the side like that, but it still works all the way around. I love the sword here. This is his sword, the Death of Worlds, and each of these pieces here represents a world that he has destroyed, personally ordered the destruction of. So 6 worlds, that's quite impressive. And he's got this gorgeous cape on the back with the Dark Angel symbol on, which I really, really like. When I built him when I first did, he's quite thin for a Terminator. The cloak does a huge amount of balancing that off, but I just the sculptor of this one has done a fantastic job, and I'm really a big fan of it. One thing I was disappointed about, and this is really like stupid, I was disappointed he was in resin, just because I enjoy painting plastic models more than I do resin models. And I don't know what I was expecting. I think after the Black Library releases, the 2 Black Library models that came out in plastic, I was kind of hoping the rest of the character series models would start coming out in plastic. That's not the case. Now, that's a personal choice. I know people that much prefer working with resin. I know some people that much prefer working in plastic. I personally prefer plastic for converting and building and things like that. So let's just look at some of the details on the model. So you've got like things like, if you can see in here, he's got the Dreadwing symbol of the skulled hourglass there. He's carrying an hourglass here. He's got his Phosphex bombs on his belt, which is, for those of you that don't know what Phosphex is, think of it as like sentient radioactive napalm. So yeah, it's a lovely bit of tech. His sword with the scroll work round. I don't like scroll work, and I do think there's a special place in hell for any sculptor that puts a large nameplate without writing on. Luckily, I've managed to use the Mortis word from the Dark Angels transfer sheet. If you look at the artwork here, obviously their studio artists are much better at painting words than I am. I tried to, and it looked like my 4-year-old had written it. So I used the Mortis transfer off the Dark Angel transfer sheet, which fits fine on there. So I really like this model. I went for a sort of darker red on the hood and the cloak because I wanted to make him look a little more evil. If you can compare him to sort of like the brilliant red that I use on my Interemptors. Not Interemptors, what am I talking about? Inner Circle Knight Cenobium. So these are like the bodyguards of characters, and he actually, one of his warlord trait is he gets a squad of these with him. One thing I noticed when I first put them side by side is the heads on these are much chunkier than his head. So I'm not sure how well you can see it on the video there, but the head is way chunkier. And it's annoyed me now that the red on here is really vibrant and the red on here is dulled. And I think there may be a repaint coming in the future. I don't know which way I'm going to go. It'd be interesting to see your views on that, whether you think I should stick with the bright red here or switch all the bright red down to this muted red. Size-wise, he's a Cataphract Terminator. He's the same size as a Cataphract Terminator. He's no taller, he's no shorter. I think he's probably better proportioned than the Inner Circle Knights. Like, he seemed to be in a more natural pose. But he's a really nice model to paint. Price point is a difficult one. I can only comment for UK. It's £35 in the UK for this. I personally think that's too much, but it's not past my price elasticity point, so I'm quite happy to pay it. Well, begrudgingly we'll pay it. I do think £35 is too much for a single miniature, but I don't know how much it costs to make. I don't know anything about that, and I'm not going to pretend to. I would like him to have been, I think £25 is a fair price for a model like this, but you're only going to buy one. I mean, there is conversion potential, but you're only going to buy one. So I need to work out some kind of rating system for new release models. So he's going to get the Dark Angel bonus, which is going to be an extra point anyway. I think I'm going to give him a solid 4 out of 5 bends for this, because I really like the model. I don't know how I would do it differently. He looks how Marduk Sedras would look in my mind. I think Corswain will be the big test though for me with the Dark Angels, because we have artwork for Corswain, so it'll be interesting to see. So that's Marduk Sedras. So there's 9 minutes and 28 seconds of me talking drivel about a model. But I thought, why not make the video a little bit longer and show off some of the other characters I had for my Heresy Dark Angels. So in Heresy there are things called consuls. So these are basically your line captains, and they can be given in lots of different ways. So they can be built in lots of different ways. So this was one of the first conversions I did for my Dark Angels, using the head from the normal Dark Angel Prater, a set of Mark II legs that have been heat bended into I think the torso and shoulder arm bit here, and cloak are from the 40k Dark Angels Interrogator Chaplain. Then we've got the sword from the 40k Deathwing Knights. You can see how I broke the sword there and tried to glue it back in place. And then the backpack is off the underslung missile launcher upgrade set with a targeter from a Deathwing Terminator as well, just to make him look a bit more. I use these backpacks a lot. I really like them. I think they're really cool with the extra built-in targeters. So this guy represents my Dark Angels Delegatus. So he's sort of a Dark Angel that will go and meet other dignitaries and various things like that, and sort of represent the Legion in sort of cross, I don't know, political affairs. So this is him. It was quite a quick paint job. This looks awful across the bottom, and I've never fixed it. As you can see, all the wash in there. But he looks nice from this angle, so I'll keep him. So that is my Delegatus. So I hope you like him. I will put him down next to Marduk Sedras. Next up, I've got a Chaplain. And again, notice how reusing parts, you can produce two very different models. So they both have exactly the same torso and arm, except what I've done with him is I've given him Mark III plastic legs. He's got a power fist from the Inner Circle Knights Shinobi. No, not Inner Circle Knights. The Deathwing Knights. And the Forge World pad. He's retained that head is off the Dark Angels Chaplain that came in Dark Vengeance, along with the Crozius as well. And he's been done. This is a lot better. I've done around the back. This was sort of like a change in sort of painting colour and style, that I went for the red and white instead of the cream. So you can see when you paint a model and your colour schemes change as you go along. And I've magnetised his backpack for an eventual jump pack, which I haven't given him yet. So that is my Chaplain. For those of you interested about transfers and stuff, because I love transfers things, these checkerboard transfers are from the Orc transfer set. And they're really useful for doing things like that. And let's just ignore the fact that that skull is totally off-centre. So that is my Chaplain, as unnamed. Next up, we've got a Mortat. So Mortat's one of my favourite characters and I really hope we still get them in version 2.0. So Mortats are lone gunmen, basically. They go around with paired pistols and cause all kinds of troubles. They're part of the Destroyer companies. In the case of the Dark Angels, that would probably make them Dreadwing. So this is the arms from the Mortat model on the body of the Dark Angels Prater, and I'd love to, with an Iron Warrior head, and I'd love to take credit for this conversion idea, but it's not my idea at all. This is the sword is from the Red Scorpions. This was taken from Dimmy, who's formerly a Forge World painter, incredible hobbyist and Dark Angel enthusiast, and I believe he's now a background or rules writer for Forge World. So if you get the chance to check his stuff out, do, because it's amazing. I just flat out stole his conversion because I thought it looked really, really cool. And he's not the only model that I've used using that body, because again, I like that body very well. So that's my Mortat. Whereas I should position these better so you can see them. Let's have my, using the same body again then, so let's go for, this was actually a gift to me from my friend James, the same James who got me that. And he made me a champion for a hobby Secret Santa. So I've made him a Firewing champion, sort of like an assassin. So again, it's a bit harder to describe the pose there because they're quite similar. He's got a head from a Deathwing Knight, a pair of swords, because why not, that looks cool. Mark III arms put on there, and then he's got a backpack which is magnetised as well. He does have a replacement backpack, so I'll take that off. Again, look and see in those Orc transfers and the Heckanista transfers. He's magnetised, so he can be jump packed or jump packless, and he forms the champion in the force, and I just thought he was really cool. And that's the symbol there of the Firewing, and they're sort of like, I think they're kind of the Dark Angels assassin sort of forces. So that is my champion. I have two left. So this is possibly my favourite conversion in the army. It's something quite simple, but I think it just works really well. And this is my Master of Signal. So he is currently sat here with his Primaris arm, which looks fantastic on this, and I don't care if it's a Primaris part because you can't tell. Checking out his, and that's a transfer of writing on the screen as well. That's just some scroll work transfers. I put some sort of like personal heraldry on there. This is the Power Armoured Prater, but the special edition one that they did for the web store years ago. The one with the weird face and the power fist. So I used him again, as you can see, orc transfers in use. The sword from the normal Prater, and then I sort of custom built a backpack using various things from the Ravenwing upgrade frame 40k to build this sort of like comms array for him. So that is my Master of Signal. And then the last model I want to show you is my Prater on jet bike. So this is my Ravenwing jet bike Prater, and he is built using a Custodes jet bike, which has been cut down and reposed and resized for a Space Marine. As you can see, his body is Samuel from 40k, and he has a Dark Angel head with Ravenwing Champion sort of winglets on there. The shield, I cannot for the life of me remember. I think it's 4th edition fantasy, some Empire unit. This is the old sort of resin Dark Angel icons they used to have there. And that's about it. There's not been a lot of conversion work in there, but I just thought he looks really cool. The twin heavy bolters were to cover regular heavy bolter ammo and the special Dark Angel acid round ammo, but they're my characters. So that's what I'm thinking for sort of review videos, is to do a bit of review and then show how that would fit into an army. I'm conscious I've waffled a fair bit, but I hope you have enjoyed that. If you like Marduk Sedras, I'm hoping he's available for you soon. If you don't like Marduk Sedras, well, then that's entirely your choice. If you have already managed to get hold of him, I'd love to see your versions of him. And if you've got any questions about Marduk Sedras, Dark Angels, or any of the models, please feel free to put them in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy it as much as I enjoy making it. Thank you. Goodbye.